Donald Trump will appear in court today. Inspections revealed more problems with Boeing planes, and a very teeny creature is helping one man keep his shed in order. That's some of what we'll get to on The 7 from The Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Tuesday, January 9th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Number 1. Donald Trump will attend a court hearing about his January 6th immunity claims today. Trump's legal team is arguing that a former president can't be prosecuted for actions that took place while he was in office. He'll make a voluntary appearance at a D.C. federal appeals court today, where his lawyers will make his case. If Trump succeeds, it could bar prosecutors from charging him for his role in the 2021 Capitol attack. But any decision will probably land in the Supreme Court. And in the meantime, the trial for this case, which is scheduled to start on March 4th, could be delayed. Trump's decision to appear in court less than a week before the Iowa caucuses could be an insight into his presidential campaign strategy. He's framing the 4 criminal cases against him as political attacks. So today's appearance may be the first of many times this year that he quickly pivots between the courtroom and the campaign trail, blending his criminal defense with his electoral message. United Airlines found loose bolts on its grounded Boeing jets. That's number 2. Over 100 Alaska and United planes are being inspected after a terrifying mid-air accident last week. On Friday, an Alaska Airlines flight departing Portland had to make an emergency landing after a part of the plane blew out into the sky at 16,000 feet. As a result, the FAA grounded 171 Boeing 737 MAX 9 planes so they could be inspected. That's how United found that some of the plane's bolts needed additional tightening. The finding raises questions about possible systematic problems with this jet model. And hundreds of flights were canceled yesterday as inspections continued. In a surprising twist, though, an iPhone survived the 16,000-foot fall from the hole in the plane. It probably landed on soft grass or foliage. And yes, it was in airplane mode. Number 3. A dangerous winter storm is sweeping the nation. An exceptionally intense storm system is hitting the Plains states. Here's Oklahoma resident Stephanie Wheatley speaking about the blizzard conditions yesterday via Storyful.
I don't know if the video shows just how bad it is, but we got snow blowing sideways. The roads are pretty well covered. It is definitely sticking, and it's cold.
The wild weather is expected to move into central and eastern states today and tomorrow. And the storm could bring more blizzard conditions, flooding rains, and damaging winds. And a tornado watch was issued along the Gulf Coast, covering southeast Louisiana to the Florida Panhandle. Strong winds are also likely for cities along the I-95 corridor in the mid-Atlantic and Northeast, which could cause power outages. You can find a city-by-city forecast in our newsletter. At number 4, an explosion at a Fort Worth hotel injured at least 21 people. The blast yesterday afternoon tore apart at least 2 floors of a hotel in the Texas city's downtown area. 1 person was in critical condition and 4 had serious injuries, but there were no deaths reported. Investigations are ongoing into the incident. But authorities said that there was an odor of gas in the area and that it was probably a gas explosion. Number 5. If you're drinking bottled water right now, you might want to put it down for this one. Bottled water contains thousands of tiny pieces of plastic. A groundbreaking study released yesterday found that an average liter of bottled water contains around 240,000 particles of plastic. Most of those plastic bits are what's known as nanoplastics, which measure less than 1/70th of the width of a human hair. Nanoplastics are smaller than microplastics and are even more prevalent. And that's really saying something because scientists have found microplastics everywhere. The problem is, plastic materials are a bit like skin. They shed pieces into water or food or whatever they're touching. And they could be dangerous to human health. Researchers aren't sure how dangerous, but in theory at least, nanoplastics are small enough to make it into a person's blood, liver, and brain. Enjoy your water. Number 6.
and the maize and blue on the brink of ending a championship drought.
Michigan won the college football playoff national championship. The top-ranked Wolverines capped an undefeated season with a 34-13 victory over the number 2 Washington Huskies last night in Houston. Michigan did it with defense, subduing Washington's dazzling offense and setting up its own attack. The Wolverines outscored the Huskies 17-3 in the second half. This is Michigan's first national championship since 1997, and it brings an end to an eventful season that included a sign-stealing scandal as well as 2 suspensions for coach Jim Harbaugh. And at number 7, a man solved the mystery of his suspiciously tidy shed. Rodney Holbrook is 75 years old and lives in Wales, and he recently noticed something strange going on in his shed. Each night, he'd leave things like nails, cable ties, and tools out on his worktop. But when he came back each morning, everything would be neatly packed away into a tray. Holbrook is a keen wildlife photographer, so he knew what to do. He set up a camera to help him figure it out, and he was amazed to discover that a mouse had been picking things up with its tiny mouth and creating order out of chaos. The mouse probably doesn't know that it's being so helpful. Mice just kind of like to hoard things. But Holbrook said that he hopes his furry little cleaner sticks around. And since the video was released, the mouse has become famous in Britain, where it's now known as Mini Kondo. You really need to see this video in our newsletter for some New Year's cleaning inspiration. Because if a tiny little mouse can declutter its shed, so can you. All right, you're all caught up. But one more thing. If you don't already listen to our evening news podcast, Post Reports, you're missing out. That's where you can hear my colleagues from around the newsroom digging in on exclusive reporting from the Post. Yesterday's episode was about a decision allowing Florida to import cheaper prescription drugs from Canada and what that could mean for drug prices throughout the U.S. Just search for Post Reports wherever you listen to podcasts and be sure to like or subscribe to the show. I'm Hannah Jewell, and I'll meet you back here tomorrow.